When did you start off with your blacksmithing? In Scotland?
In 1928, and that was the era when the motor car was just sort of coming in, and my old dad, he was a blacksmith too, but he objected very strongly to me going to be a blacksmith because he thought it was too much hard work and grind, besides which motor cars were coming in and the blacksmith trade would die out. So that's a long time ago since he forecast that. Of course, nowadays, with the influx in this country, particularly with the influx of ponies and horses, the blacksmith or the farrier at least gets a good living because there's so many children's ponies for him.
Yeah. Whereabouts did you start off from? Whereabouts in Scotland were you?
Started off in a place called Dumbarton, which is a very ancient historic castle there. And but it was only a blacksmith and myself, like. I was a boy, the apprentice, used the big hammers. So,
what sort of work would you do as an apprentice?
Oh, well, it was mostly horseshoeing. Gates and railings was secondary. The old boss took the view that if you shod a horse, the sooner you got it shod and out, the sooner it would wear these shoes off and come back in again. And he says, don't bother about them bloody scrolls and gates and railings. You get that horse shod, because them scrolls and gates and railings will be there for another 100 years. But that horse will be back in next month with another set of shoes.
A canny Scot. What sort of work would you do as the apprentice? As the apprentice, what sort of work would you do?
Oh well, naturally the first thing in the morning you clean the floor, you lit the fire, then you blew it up, and you got everything ready for the old bloke coming in. After that you swept the floor. The very start of the first year apprenticeship was mostly devoted to keeping the shop clean and tidy, doing the scudgy work, and taking the shoes, the old shoes off horses, besides using the hammer. When you make the big heavy shoes, you've got to use a two-handed hammer as well as the blacksmith with a single-handed.
And then where would you go to there, the second year or the third year? What would you be doing?
Oh, well, in the second year they allow you to go on the forge and bend little light stuff and so on. And in the third year you're out virtually on your own, erecting gates and railings, in between shoeing horses, of course.
And how long did you spend as a blacksmith in Scotland before you came to Australia?
From 1928 until 1936.
What would you been doing then? Same sort of work? Mainly horses?
Mostly horses, horseshoe. We've done a little bit of spring cars coming in and that. We've done a little bit of spring work occasionally, and repair farm implements.
Whereabouts in Scotland were you then? Whereabouts did you have your own shop?
Oh, I was born Loch Lomond side, the Bonnie Banks of Loch Lomond.
And what happens when you came to Australia? Where were you working then?
I had been in England from 1936 until 1959. And I worked in a big factory, the Lister Blackstone Group. Lister is well known out here for little engines and sheep shears and so on. And I might say it was a completely different turn of work when I went into that factory to what I was used to. And there was quite a lot of repetition stuff. And I always thought if you had to make 2,000 of anything, by the time you had made that 2,000, you really knew your way around the job, as it were.
And what about when you came to Australia?
When I came to Australia, I landed in Dalby, in Queensland. And it wasn't too lucrative, if I may say so. Anyhow, I did hear that there was a job at Burrendome Dam, and we packed up and we come down here and I got the job at Burrendome Dam, and that sort of settled us in this area. Most of my family got married in this area.
What sort of work would you have been doing on the dam?
Well, there was such a variety of stuff apart from the various tools like picks and jack picks that navvies use. Some of that heavy equipment, you take a big Euclid would turn over. Tremendous amount of straightening work to be done. Besides which there was a tremendous amount of things that they could not buy straight away, had to be ordered from America. A lot of these little parts and that I could make, or virtually get the old part and repair it and straighten it, and I saved them a lot of time and a lot of money that way.
So you actually had a complete blacksmith shop set up there on the dam site?
A shop about this size actually. A hammer, not quite the same as that hammer, but
A power hammer.
yeah.
And did you take many of your tools from there, or?
Oh yes. Most of the big lot of the gear I have around actually come from there. They not from Burrendome, of course, from Copeland land.
Did somebody say you're working out at Lake Kajelico as well? I think Ian might have mentioned you might have been out at Lake Kajelico as well.
I was at Wyangla Dam, and I was at Copeland Dam.
Doing the similar sort of work on the heavy machinery.
Oh, yes, they moved me from one dam to the other.
Do people still use blacksmiths on site now for the big construction
Well,
jobs?
I think a blacksmith, if it's not absolutely essential, a blacksmith is a big money saver to them, with the ability that a reasonably good blacksmith has to replace things where otherwise it might take weeks to get it.
Would there be any young people doing blacksmithing apprenticeships now?
I suppose there would, but I really don't know of any.
Yeah. Could you show me some of the things you've got around here in this shop? You showed me the toe clipping device there. Can I see that?
Yes, well, that is unique. You see, they've been making horseshoes and putting clips on horseshoes quite probably from the time of the pharaohs or thereabouts. And all they ever done was to use the hammer in that fashion or in this fashion at this end. And I think that's unique. I've never ever seen one.
How do you use it, Sandy?
And it is so simple. I actually designed it for the boys, for my boys. And all it requires is a couple of taps down your wall. If you have bigger shoes than this, heavier material, you go back to the second hole. There was a most interesting little device here. Maybe look ramshackled. But we have plates the shape of the shoe, and
Right.
little grip there, and put the stable R end of the shoe and you pull the weight on like so. You tighten that up and just roll the handle. See, that shoe being oval, the spring allows it to travel backwards and forward, and then of course the shoe forwards out, and the way that's made it keeps it from twisting.
So how fast could you make shoes with that, Sandy?
Used to make front shoes for trotters. If I had one boy with me, 60 shoes in an hour, one shoe a minute.
60 shoes in an hour? Good grief.
And we used to punch them here.
What is that, a form of power hammer?
Oh, it's a punch.
A punch.
Play. Eh?
Would that punch them cold or hot?
Well, we used to punch them half cold. Half
Right.
hot, half cold.
That'd be after you actually shaped them, you punch them.
We groove the steel here. I use round steel. Flatten it under the hammer here. Little dies. Give it the size of steel I'm going to use.
So you didn't actually buy steel with grooves in it, you
No.
made it yourself?
Round steel. The trotters are very particular about weights.
Right.
And so you get more variety of weight in round steel than you would in flat steel.
Yes.
More availability. You could buy, say, 5/16, 3/8, 7/16, half-inch, 9/16 and 5/8 round, which gives you a terrific variety of weights for the various horses. And it was merely a matter of flattening down under there and chopping it through. You see, that spring steel, and that's what it's made from.
Spring steel?
Spring steel. Yes. A shoe as thin as that would have to be made from spring steel, else it would, when the horse is running, it would open up, it wouldn't be strong enough. If it was soft, mild steel, it'd just open up and cripple the horse. You make it from spring steel so that it can't get away.
Was making horseshoes your
leg
favourite?
is longer, of course.
Was making horseshoes your favourite work?
Yeah, I used to like making shoes, yeah.
Have you seen the other machines like that for making shoes?
No, that's an original idea of mine, like that from was.
You haven't patented the idea?
Oh, it wouldn't be worth it, because there's so few blacksmiths around it. If they wished to, they could copy it, face it. I've had a lot of blacksmiths here taking advantage of these things, as you might say. I don't know. No. How are you looking at it?
Hey, what's this for making, Sandy?
For making an eye on the end of anything, and as I say, I could make probably 100, maybe in 3/8 round. I know 3/8 round. When I worked piecework, the price was 99 per hour, so that's bloody near 100, isn't it? But the idea is, you see how this is cranked too, and you could put it in that hole for thicker stuff. Only you've got to have adjustment here, you see, for thicker stuff. But virtually the idea is that you just bend the end of the material a little bit like that, and then it goes in there, and then that catches it, see? And when that catches it, it pulls it
You pull it round
right round to there, see?
Right.
And then you just pull it that way to get the eye
Yes.
central.
Beautiful. What other tools have you made here, Sandy? You showed me a couple of hammers that you've made. Those hammers were interesting. They're a different pattern to the pattern I've seen.
Well, they're off the old Scotch style of shoe hammer.
A leaf maker's hammer.
Yes, when you're making leaves of wrought iron work,
Yes.
and you've got a cross either way to mark out the veins, you know, on the leaf.
Right.
And of course that's just a little light sort of metal worker's hammer. I use it quite a bit maybe for light rivets and various little jobs like that. There is a sort of typical Clydesdale front shoe.
With the corkins.
Yes, with heels.
Who would that have been made for? Any idea? Do you know who that would have been made for?
Oh, I just made it to show some of my boys.